Hello, I'm John from the Haunt Informer,
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
and this is episode 24 of Fall Informer. And today we have a special guest, Pete from Insanity Haunted House.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great.
Good. How you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, no problem. Pleasure to be here.
So first, to take it off, you guys are located in Peru, Illinois.
Yes.
Where exactly is that in relation to? We're out from the east. We're both from PA. So for the East Coast people, where is Peru, Illinois?
So it's I'll just put it in a reference to Chicago because I don't reference Illinois as Chicago. So we are about 75 miles straight west of Chicago.
Okay.
So it's a little quite a ways from Chicago actually.
Okay. So you're closer to like St. Louis or
actually I would say probably middle point between Chicago and St. Louis, or that's where.
Okay, awesome. When did you get into haunts and the whole haunted attraction scene? How long ago have you been in the haunt scene?
So, I mean, for me, it started. You mean professionally or just in general?
In general, you personally growing up into what you're doing now.
You know, like a lot of haunters, I used to go to a haunt when I was a kid. It was I grew up in Melrose Park. It was called Amling's Haunted House. It was one of the first in the country, actually. If you look into Amling's Haunted House, it was one of the first walkthrough attractions in the United States. And with the exception of Haunted Mansion or something like that. And I don't know why people ask me this question all the time. Why haunted houses? Why Halloween? I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I can tell you as a kid going through that haunted house, it was one of the dumbest scares ever. But every year, it never changed. The haunt was exactly the same thing. It was $1 to go through this place. You had to walk past this gorilla behind rubber bars. That was like the finale of this thing. And it was terrifying. And I'm a kid, and like a lot of haunters, I mean, I would, build haunts in my bedroom being in second and third grade. And a lot of times it turned into just like a pig pile and beating on my brothers as they came through, but it was still a haunted house. And from there, it just, my whole life, I've been a Halloween guy, and I've being a kid, build mannequins in my front yard. And, I knew I wanted to do a haunt one day, and it started with, like many people, like a yard haunt. And I did graveyards, started building graveyards, started building zombies. And then I had a 3-car garage, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to build a freaking haunt in my garage. And from there, I spent weeks building it just to be open on Halloween night and just have, tons of people go through it. And then I was just like, I'm doing it. So that's kind of the history of it.
Awesome. And now how long has Insanity been open?
So our current location, this will be our 5th season there. We were in another location that was closer to Chicago, probably 35 miles closer, maybe 40 miles closer to the city than we currently were. We were inside a mall, and we lost the location. The mall shut down, like a lot of inside malls are doing. And we came out there. So this will be our 8th season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you guys now located in the Peru Mall.
In the Peru Mall, correct. We were in St. Charles in the Charlestown Mall, another indoor mall. And when we left there, we were the last thing. And Charlestown was a huge mall, and it was, there used to be an amusement park in it. I mean, massive mall. Wow. And when we left, we were the last thing in that mall. And they said, yeah, no more. That's it. We're done with this. And we're closing up shop there. And it's funny because they were like, you have to get out of here, and we're building condominiums, and we're doing all these things. And they put a construction fence around the place, and to this day it still sits just exactly like it did when we left.
Wow. It didn't even change.
They did nothing. No,
nothing to it.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, the first question I have for you is, I read in a review of Insanity Haunted House that there was a curtain maze in the circus area of your haunt, and I always love a good curtain maze. And I wanted to know what have been the best reactions to that maze in your haunt.
Yeah, I should have had some of the actors with me for this interview, because they have more. I spend more time watching security cameras and things like that. But it's a very confusing area. We try to make it confusing. We have it set up to where it's kind of easy to start getting through it, but as you're making your way through, it gets more confusing. And then we have it set to where basically the clowns in the area control where you go. If they
Oh,
want to send
nice.
you somewhere, they send you somewhere. If they want to give you the right way, but depending on how busy we are, because a lot of times they'll be like, hey guys, stop sending them the wrong way. But they're clowns, they want to have fun in there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Now, do you have strobes in there, or is it just have to find your way out of the curtains?
It's not strobes. I used to do the old clown area was more of a black lit glowing type deal.
Oh, okay.
We changed that years ago. You try and change every year. Every year
Yeah.
we're changing, 3 to 4 rooms of the haunt, just because you have to change it. If you don't change, you will get passed. That's how this business is. So we went to this new one, and it's not strobes. It's just more of like circus multicolored lights.
Oh, okay.
Going through it. Yeah.
So kind of like this, like the disco ball, or like a different,
Similar to that. Different
lights.
ones. Yeah, some are kind of strobing, some are not, but similar to what you're talking about. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I know you guys do some off-season haunts, and the one that really intrigues me the most is the one coming up called the Easter Casket haunt.
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from? The doing Easter, because it's very few haunts out there doing Easter ones, and I think the idea is great. So where did that idea for that come from?
So it really stemmed from, we're fortunate enough to be inside a mall. So, I'm able to work. I was working there today. I was there, so it's nice to do that because I'm able to take my time, and I'm under pressure. And usually I try to, by August, I want my bill done, and so I know a lot of haunts do different ones. There's some haunts who do St. Patrick's Day, some do Valentine's Day, some I wanted the big 3: Halloween, Christmas, Easter. That's it. You know what I mean? And I think in my area, my market is, you have Christmas, which is, right after Halloween. Everyone loves our Christmas show. They come out for it. But then I just give them kind of a lull. And there's really nothing going on. You know what I mean? I don't do Mardi Gras or nothing like that. By the time Easter hits, people are like, hey, I want to go to a haunt. I'm into something here. And it's something, honestly, it's something to do in April. Well, what is there to do in April? You know what I mean? So, hey, let's go to the haunt tonight. You know what I mean? And we get a huge following on it, and people love coming out for it. And, like all my events, though, it's not like my Christmas show is not like, I don't do it like Christmas threw up on the haunted house. That's not how it is. But it's very Christmas themed. You know what I mean? Same with Easter. Now, Easter is an event where we call it the Easter Casket Rotten Egg Hunt. And you are looking for eggs through the house. We don't change up the show, though. So you go through and you try and find eggs, and if you find eggs, you get prizes at the end. And if you find a couple of the golden eggs we have hidden, you get a good prize at the end. People love it. Again, something to do, and it's different. You know what I mean? So, but you still have people going through the house for Easter. You could care less about eggs. They're just terrified, and they just want to get through the house. So
well, that's leading up to my next question. How long do you get to look for these eggs? Someone's in this haunt who's not getting freaked out, by an actor, and they're legit looking for these eggs. Like, how long do you have before you start?
There's really no time frame on it. We don't say you got 10 seconds to look for eggs.
Okay.
The eggs are there. You know what I mean? So we tell them as they're entering the house, because people will get crazy with it. You tell them you got to look for eggs. They'll be moving props. And I'm like, come on, we're not, it's not, you don't move anything. We tell them the eggs are out. You'll see the eggs. You know what I mean? And one of the issues we found was replenishing the eggs, because you have a big group of people coming through, and people are grabbing eggs like crazy, and the actor's like, hey, we're out of eggs, so we gotta get back through and keep replenishing. So every room has a hidden basket full of eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This sounds awesome, by the way. This sounds unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I wish I could go through it and just, not only you're getting the experience of going to a haunt, it's like a hunt for these little things, and you get rewarded. What are some of the prizes you get afterwards?
I'll be honest, it's nothing crazy. You know what I mean? So if you find the gold egg, we'll give you a couple of tickets for the October show, or, which is still a $50 value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or, you have some kids who are like, all right, you found this. Do you want a t-shirt? That's worth $15, or do you want these, just ring pops? And they're like, oh, you want the ring pops? I'm like, all right, whatever. Or a hat. But you want the ring pop? Okay, no problem.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and that is open when is that?
So we're open April 9th. So not this upcoming weekend, the following weekend. One night only, 7 to 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be on the thumbnail. I'm going to have the creepy Easter bunny on the thumbnail for this video.
Yeah. Good.
I love the Easter bunny post you guys do on Instagram. The creepy Easter bunny looking around the corner, stuff like that.
Yeah, we have fun with that. We have an actual Easter bunny. You know what I mean? We have a guy, and he's pretty bloodied up, and you know, it's funny because we try not to do anything crazy with it, but you know, we've already had a few emails this year. How dare you take Easter and make it satanic? And I'm like, what are you talking about, satanic?
Wow.
There's nothing satanic about it. I mean, but people just, you know, same with Christmas. You have people who are like, absolutely not. You know, I mean, my first year that I did a Christmas haunt in my old location, we called it Jingle Hell. And we literally had like church groups literally boycott us to where the mall was like, we can't have this negative publicity. We had to take on all the signage and everything else. So yeah, people get crazy with it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you must have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Come here and be worried about my Easter haunt.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that aspect of it, but that's nuts. But I can see it. You know, I can totally picture these people, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And they never want to talk about it. They just want to scream and holler and, you know, you know, I always put invitations to people like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, come and see what we're actually doing. It's nothing sacrilegious or just, it's just a good time. Come have fun. But that's how they are.
Wow.
But we'll take that publicity. Whatever we get.
No such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Oh man.
Awesome.
So another question I have for you is you've created lots of detailed sets and they've ranged from lots of different things from libraries to churches. And I wanted to know, which set have you created over the years that you've enjoyed the most?
That I've enjoyed the most? None. You know, the problem that you usually will run into is I sketch these things and I have just books of sketches of, you know, the ideas that I have. And then we start coming to time to start building them. And I have the sketches and I get my guys. I'm like, all right, here's what we're going to build. And then we start building and they go, this ain't going to work. What did you come up with here? You know what I mean? So changing everything on the fly, you know what I mean? I don't know. So, you know, some of the ideas we try to really have an experience. You don't see copycats in our haunts. You know what I mean? I'll go to tons of haunts and look for different ideas and things like that. And I'll tweak certain things, but I'm not going to steal other people's ideas. But some of our rooms are very unique. Let me just put it that way. You know what I mean? Our library scene is very, very unique. And if you've seen some of the reviews, people really talk about the library scene. You know, I'll just kind of give you we have just book stacks to the ceiling. I mean, you know, just literally hundreds of books in stacks, and people come through and they're like, how did you get those stacks like that? You know what I mean? It was just how we ended up doing them was very unique that you've never seen anywhere else. And when people come through, especially when they see that room, they're like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? But the art of the haunt is that, you know what I mean? I just, our haunt is very detailed. We have details. Your head is on a swivel constantly. There's so much stuff to look forward, you know, and when you're going through the haunt, and that's the idea of the haunt. You know what I mean? I bring you into my library and you're like, look at these book stacks, and we scare you. That's the whole point of it. You know what I mean? No secret there. So that's where the details come in the rooms. And some people don't understand that. They're like, man, holy cow. Yeah, I'm like, well, there's eye candy everywhere. You don't know where to look because there's so much to look at. And then we scare you.
Oh man.
What advice would you give to people out there who want to start their own haunt and build their own haunt and get into the haunt industry as like an owner? What any advice you got for them?
Or you mean like going pro?
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than people think. Yeah, you know, when I did it, honestly, mine came from Craigslist, to be honest with you. I was searching Craigslist and there was a haunt that went out of business and they were selling 3 semis full of lumber. And they were like, hey, come get it. And I drove there and made them an offer on it and they took it. I went from building a haunt in my garage to all of a sudden now I have this, you know, at the time, 8,000 square foot place. And I built it like I was building a house. I was like, I don't know anything about codes or whatnot. You know what I mean? And I was putting screws and I'm like, this thing, the mall could have fallen down and the haunt would have stood. That's how I built the structure. And really, if you're really going to do this, for one, know your market. Okay. The best thing that happened to us was the old mall closing down, because I was in a market, Illinois, when you get towards the city and is saturated, there's haunts everywhere, and there's great haunts everywhere. And, all of a sudden then I'm in the mix with them and I'm trying to compete with them. And then when that mall closed, I was like, I didn't know where to go. I had certain areas I was looking at, but it's very hard to get into that because a lot of places don't want to let they call it a dark attraction. They don't want that. And, I'm like, oh, this is the one I want to do. Yeah, no, we're not interested in you coming here. You know what I mean? So, the best thing was that mall closing, because I just went west, and I went west and west and west. I'm in the Peru mall. I never heard of Peru until the day I found that mall. I just drove west. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a mall here. And it was in a decently populated area, and the rest is history. But now it's just me. You know what I mean? So there's within, 30 miles, there's a couple like charity haunts here and there, but it's nothing like we do. And the crowds just come, you know what I mean? Because we are by ourselves. So really know your market, learn your fire codes. I mean, that's one of the things. And your fire codes, your building codes, your blueprints, all those types of things. It's not just building stuff. There's so much that goes into it that beyond just, I know how to build stuff and make props. It's not even close. I mean, you think you have everything covered, and the expense, you know what I mean? Oh, here's my budget. Yeah. Okay. Right. You get close to it. As haunt season approaches, your budget's gone. I mean, you're flooding money every year, even when you have the haunts, you own the haunt. I build the haunt all year long. I mean, as haunt season approaches, I mean, $100 bills fall out of my pocket every day because there's just, oh yeah, I need that. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. So really take your time. If you're able to get in with a pro haunter and learn some things, you know what I mean? Work for free, come on in and say, hey, listen, I'll come in and I'll help you do whatever you can. If you help me out, learn what you can learn. It's a very, the haunt community is very secretive. A lot of guys don't like to talk about it, and they don't want to tell you what's going on. Every year I've had someone from another haunt, hey, I'm interested in working here. And I start doing a little research on them, and I'm like, nah, you're from another haunt. You just want to see what's in here. No thanks. You know what I mean? So if you're able to get in with someone who knows what they're doing, it's good. I've had one guy who really helped me out from the beginning. Shout out Ryan B. You know who you are. So yeah, that's about the best I can tell you to do. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So I have another question for you. And so I saw on your website during the fall season, I thought this was interesting. I haven't seen other haunts do this very much. You have a kids matinee on select hours on Sundays. And I wanted to know, how does that work? How do you run that?
All right. So my kids matinee is, it's the last 3 Sundays I do it. We do it for 2 hours, and it's basically, it's half price. Parents can bring their kids. And the show is dark. And I tell that to parents. So everything is on. The show lights are on. The props are going. Everything is going, but there's no actors inside the house. So parents can take their time. I don't mind if they use their phone for, a flashlight, things like that. I'll offer, like, if the kids do seem scared, I'll offer to take them through with a flashlight to show them how things work. And we get a ton of repeat business because parents come through and they're like, oh my goodness, this was amazing inside this house. And we're coming back for the real show in an hour. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So I like doing it. I shouldn't say I like doing it, because sometimes it is a pain, because we have a lot of kids coming, and and it's, kids want to touch things, and I'm on the security camera like, hey, don't touch stuff. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things you forget about. So when you have actors inside the house, they handle their rooms. Well, when there's no one in there, you know what I mean? So but kids seem to like it, and every year the kids matinee gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Nice. Do you like hand out candy and stuff too?
Yeah, we give them candy, you know what I mean? And we still have, what's funny is we've had parents come out like freaking out on us. You said it was kid friendly. I'm like, there was literally nobody in there. You just walked through the house. You know what I mean? So, but most parents seem to like it, you know what I mean? And, but you have kids get to the door and they're like, no way, forget it. You know what I mean? We'll give them a refund, you know what I mean? But they do get candy. And what's nice about our mall does a trick or treat in the mall.
Oh, okay.
And it
Nice.
gets, I mean, when I tell you it gets like thousands of people to the mall for this trick or treat thing. And I open up for a kids matinee that day also. So it's it's well worth it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And again,
really-
it's nice about the repeat business. A lot of people go through it and
Yeah.
come up and we're coming back. You know,
yeah, in the
so
same night, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, go come back in an hour. You know what I mean? There'll be upwards of 40 actors inside waiting for you next time. So a lot of fun.
I learned that the last night of Insanity Haunted House, this is a trend that I've seen in the haunted street over the years. People do blackout nights with the glow stick. And I saw that you do that as well, and I think that's a lot of fun. And I wanted to know, how long does it normally take people to get out of your haunt with just that glow stick to find their way out?
Forget it. You know, the history of the blackout event is, a lot of people don't understand what the blackout is actually about. They just think, oh, it's just another way. Well, what the blackout is about is that Halloween is now ended. You know, as you approach Halloween, the house comes alive, and then Halloween is over, and now the house has gone dark. You know, because the season is over, and that's really what it comes down to. You know, we did originally the actors with the steal your glow stick.
Yeah,
that was bedlam. Forget it. There's just, you can't do that because people are just, I mean, literally walking the halls. I mean, they have no idea where they're going. So we have stopped that just because it got out of hand, and things are getting broken, and I mean we are very back and forth and twists and turns and secret doors, and people are ended up in the break room. I mean, when so we had to stop that. So it is better because what I have done is I have the blackout. You get your glow stick, but I extra fog it. So I'll use extra fog on those nights. So the glow stick doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? It kind of gives them a perspective of where they're going, but yeah, no, it takes a long time. Let's put it that way. it takes a long time. And with stealing the glow sticks, it was, we're watching them on the security cameras, and I'm like, oh, another glow stick got stolen. And, and people are walking in circles, and the next group's walking into them, and it gets back up. And so I'm like, all right, no more stealing glow sticks. The actors hated it. They're like, come on, we want to steal glow sticks. I'm like, no, we're done with that. We're done with that.
Okay, as I'm pretty sure 13th Floor Entertainment Group, like House of Torment, they were the ones that debuted that years ago when you had to sign a waiver because they would steal the glow stick from you. And
no more of that. No more stealing stuff. We want them to be able to follow the path and get through the house. And we do a lot of things though to make it a little more interesting.
Chalk mats on the wall.
Maybe. We would never do that. We would never put a shock mat and tell people don't touch the wall when you go around that corner, because they're
man, that's great.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So you did say you do change up your haunt from year to year.
Yes.
Do you have any new scenes that you're working on this year? In mind?
We're actually this year's build is going to be a really, really big build. I don't want to give away too much, but it's this year's one of the biggest builds we've done as far as changing a room around. So we're actually we're turning 4 rooms into one big room. So there's a lot to it, because what happens especially in like my location, because I work all year long, the haunt is there. You know what I mean? It's already, I don't have to take things down. But the problem comes into play is because the haunt is there. When I want to change a room in the middle, I have to take down like half the haunt because I can't get into that room. All the things I want to move in there and stuff, because it's just too many twists and turns and trying to move. It's just not possible. So when you're trying to do stuff, it's a pain. It truly is a pain. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I want to bring this into that room, so I got to take down 20 walls just to bring this into that room.
Right.
Yeah.
We've talked to people before who have haunts in malls, and they've run into the problems where like they have this huge idea, but it's obviously not feasible to do inside a mall with a low ceiling.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the ceiling thing is. That's the one downside is you only have the 12-foot ceilings inside there. You know what I mean? So I do encapsulate the top of the house with just the scrim. You know what I mean? So you don't see the ceiling tiles inside the house, but it's very difficult. Then you got to again run into those fire codes. You got to be careful with what you do. We've tried a whole lot of different ways to do it, to cover the ceiling up, and that fire marshal comes through and is like, nope. I'm like, okay. So we found that the scrim works best because water goes right through. It's no big deal. But that's one of the things that the downside of the mall. That's probably the only downside of the mall is the ceiling. Yeah.
Right.
But we don't want people looking up to see the ceiling. So that's why
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. But
So I actually just thought of one more thing.
Yeah.
How productive was your Transworld this year? Because I actually went to it this year.
Transworld is great. I go there saying I'm not buying anything, and then my credit card starts smoking while I'm walking through. Yeah, I've never seen that before. But the thing is that I'm buying stuff all year. You know what I mean? So, my storage area just gets, built up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, do I need that? It's really cool, but I don't want to just throw in storage because my storage looks like it's so out of control. I have every piece of, that's a good piece of advice for people too, who want to do a haunt, is start getting stuff in storage, and because you never know what you're going to do or what type of idea. And with the cost of lumber right now, forget it. There's just, you need to wait a while before I can't even imagine this haunt, would have cost me triple now to try to build, from what it was back then.
right.
Yeah. Just build up that stuff, dressers and all that kind of stuff. You never know what you're going to need. Lamps and, so.
Nice.
Well, did you have an issue with actors this past season? I know a lot of haunts had issues with getting actors in, but do you have like a core group of people who always come back?
Yes, I have a fantastic crew. I mean, my crew we call them the Insanity Crew. That's who we are. They're just fantastic, top notch. I have a lot of good ones who are here every year, who want every single night. They want to be there. They can't wait. All year long they're emailing me, keeping in touch, and hey, and we have our own little chat room and stuff like that. And, I'll throw stuff out in our personal room. Hey, you guys, I'm going to be at the haunt this weekend. I need someone to come paint. And people will just show up and paint. Just things like that. But yes, this year was very challenging. I mean, and everyone seemed to run into the same issue, or I should say last year anyway. We had a lot of people who had double scares and build scare boxes and things like that to make the illusion that there was a lot more actors than there actually was inside. And a lot of call-offs too, but we had to do that. Where in the past it would be like, I got the sniffles. Yeah, come on, suck it up. Get in here and scare. But now we're like, no, stay home. No, don't come in.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, we made it work. I mean, we were kind of used to that from years past. My first couple of years, I mean, I can tell you that talk about a skeleton crew. I mean, we would stage different costumes in different areas, and it would be scare somebody, run out an actor door, run down a corridor, strip into a new costume and wait for him in the next room. I mean, we would do that. It's
Wow.
It's funny. And right now it's funny, but we did that consistently. And we had actors who would do 2 and 3 different rooms. They're talking different, changes in a costume and a mask in the next room over, and they do it again and again. Then they have to run back and change back again, just to try to give that illusion that we had more actors than we actually did. And it was, we would just be drenched at that. I'd be calling my neighbors, hey, I could use you tonight. Please come. You know what I mean? So, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah. That's insane. Like, that really is.
It truly is. That's what people don't realize. They'd be like, hey, you had so many actors. I'm like, yeah, I had like 12. It seemed like there was 50.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's actually a really good story. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. That's how we did it. We literally did that, and we had the actor corridors, and it would be like you would just, as you were leaving the corridor, you were ripping out of your clothes and you were running down this corridor, changing on the fly to get into the next room, and you would just piggyback each other. The next guy would get it, he'd go to the next one, and we'd run back and do it again and again and again. Yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely shout out to all this. Yeah,
but that's how you got to survive. That's how you have to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely shout out to all the scare actors out there all across the nation. You do a great job. We truly appreciate your dedication.
Absolutely. Yeah. Without them, we can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. But awesome. It sounds like you are running an absolute amazing haunt out there. I wish we were closer, that we could come check it out. But anyone in that surrounding area, just go out and check out Insanity. It sounds like you guys are doing incredible things out there.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, see if you can survive the Easter casket and find some
Easter casket.
I'll be waiting for it. These actors haven't scared since Christmas. They're hungry.